the World War III simulator, but there are only islands. I guess it's technically still a world war. It's just gonna be totally different than the first two, that's for sure. The only thing that has been left in this world are all the islands on Earth. All of the continental land masses have been cut out. So it's kind of funny because the Caribbean might be the most entertaining place in this entire game. When have I ever said that? I've definitely tried this before in other simulators, but I love that this actually has, I think, all of the islands on Earth. We've got the Galapagos here in Ecuador. Of course, the Hawaiian Islands, which are owned by the US. We got the all too terrifying triangle from Bermuda. Even the islands that aren't often talked about because they're under a much larger country like Canada. Of course, Portugal and Spain have things just off of Europe. Then we have all this stuff in the Mediterranean like Corsica, Sardinia, Sicily. Isn't Denmark basically like the same kind of? I forgot about these islands too. So there's still actually a lot of big names on this map like the US, the UK, Russia, even Japan. In fact, Japan is actually looking really good over here. Oh, that's right. South Korea does have one island. Or they probably have a couple. I'm learning about all these islands that we never really talk about. Australia is considered a continent, but they do have Tasmania here. They are looking like the weaker little brother to New Zealand though for the first time ever. I was very excited to look at this. So technically the largest island in the world is Greenland, but the second nation is Canada because they have a lot of different islands together. And of course Indonesia and Russia. Russia's still high up there. One thing I love about this map too is that there are different pathways to reach all the other islands. I was afraid it was just gonna be like this massive attack for pretty much all of the oceans. That wouldn't be fun. These islands would definitely have their own exclusive economic zones where they would claim certain parts of the ocean. They can't claim just like all of it, like in huge circles though. This actually might be the fastest World War Simulator game I've ever seen, but at the same time, I'm not sure. There's gonna be a lot of battles that are happening, obviously in the ocean. I mean, that's kind of a given. Can't imagine the naval warfare that's about to go on here. Interesting that New Zealand has shown Australia a bit of mercy in their time of need. They've become allies. American Samoa was already destroyed by regular Samoa. They are the only Samoa. Oh, that's right. Even China is here because they got a pretty big island that looks awfully close to Taiwan. Be a little awkward. Oh, even India. That's right. Next to Myanmar. Okay, so almost all of the available sea territories have been. Wait, is that East Timor that just died? Yeah, Indonesia finally got rid of them. It looks like. We also have some more nations dying. Tuvalu's looking pretty strong. Wait a second. Samoa just got destroyed by Tonga. I guess it is Tonga time. Yeah, the battles that are happening in the Pacific are going to be interesting. Oh man, and the Caribbean is already. I don't even know what's going on in here. What is this? I don't think I've talked about many of the Caribbean. I'm actually afraid because my pronunciation of these islands are going to be horrible. I need to hope that someone wins that gauntlet that I can actually pronounce. The Faroe Islands are up here independent. Iceland, are you Iceland really? Iceland, you're one of the most iconic islands. You're losing everything. Greenland is in a pretty epic battle against Ireland. Ooh, Malaysia was already conquered by Indonesia. Indonesia's picking up a lot of new territory. Wait, so does everything change? Everything does change when you add sea territories to it. Canada's now #1. Where did Greenland fall to? Greenland fell so far. They literally started the game off at #1. Now they're like not even in the top 10. Yeah, Canada has a lot going on up here. And then of course, as we've been talking about, Indonesia as well. And then the UK, unsurprisingly, Japan. Oh wait, I was looking at gold, my bad. Okay, wait, Greenland. Okay, you still are only going to count territories then. I see. My bad, I'm blind. Or maybe they do count sea stuff? I'm not even sure yet. Madagascar is having a good time for sure. Is this just going to be like the biggest islands eating up all the small ones in the very beginning? That's not necessarily a guarantee, but I am curious to see how Cuba does in the Caribbean. Also, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, they're definitely going to want to put aside their differences, that's for sure. Jamaica is actually at war. And speaking of which, Puerto Rico was already destroyed by the Dominican Republic, which Puerto Rico was independent. The US is still here just with Hawaii though, right? Actually, no, they have some islands off of Alaska. Totally forgot about those ones. Dominican, more islands have been destroyed. Wow, there's a lot of alliances happening. What is even happening with alliances over this way? I still cannot even read that. I don't know what this is. Cuba and the Bahamas are cool. And then, yeah, I mean, the problem is that a lot of these islands are just like literal dots. So it's hard to specify what's going on. Palau was just destroyed by Micronesia. Micronesia is now fighting another nation, some more islands, the Mariana Islands. Mauritanius was destroyed by Madagascar. I like totally butchered that pronunciation there. I don't know where I came up with that. This is really where you're going to see my limitations when it comes to geography because, yeah, my knowledge of the islands, it's lacking to say the least. Oh, Sweden has just destroyed Åland. Oh, no, Åland destroyed Sweden. Look at this revenge. Russia is giving some money to, I believe it's Italy. Italy has two pretty big chunky islands in the former Mediterranean Sea. And France is still here, but they're kind of smashed into just Corsica. Spain looks big, but the islands, the actual physical territory they have is small. Wait, oh, England got taken over. I almost didn't even mention that. My bad. Malta was also conquered by Italy, which gives Italy a lot more sea territory to work with. Oh, Italy also destroyed France. Wait, Malta, did they come back? Did you revolt? I completely forgot forgot about revolts. This is gonna be chaos. Trinidad and Tobago took out St. Lucia. I still need way more things to be cleaned up over here. Cuba, what are you doing? You're way too peaceful right now, man. I guess they're afraid of going to war with Canada or the US. Micronesia was just conquered by Guam. Chile was just conquered by Argentina. Completely forgot to look at this part of the map. We do have the Falkland Islands, but they are independent. That's probably for the best just to stay out of that controversy. Tanzania was just conquered. Madagascar has less enemies to worry about over here. Ooh, and Indonesia's definitely taking out Brunei. That's for sure. Yeah, there it is right there. Now the Philippines need to worry. The Philippines, you need to go to war with somebody. I know you have friends, but this is not going to help you against big bad Indonesia. Believe it or not, this is the alliance map mode. It's hard to tell. This is the regular map mode. This is the alliance map mode. I have no idea what the alliances look like. I just have to physically click on the country and figure out what is going on. Iceland has not been conquered yet, but it looks like they're very close. Oh, they're actually allied to Greenland. Ireland was conquered by the Faroe Islands. Look at this super cool blue that's taken over. Spain giving money to Cyprus as they fight Greece over here, and again, the former Mediterranean Sea. Oh, I thought Russia was taken out for a second there too. Wait, did you guys change colors? Oh, the reason, oh yes, I had the alliance map mode on. It's like, why does all the colors look different now? They're changing flags or something? Madagascar actually lost a bit of territory, kind of concerning there, guys. Woloski, analyze. Yeah, so the area map mode is not changing much at all at this point. We're gonna need a lot more things to happen for anything to change with that. Indonesia and Canada still at the top in terms of richness, though. Bermuda moving way up and taking over a ton of Canadian territory. What is going on, Canada? Are you gonna defend your land or not? Because I guess even the US took some sea territory away from them. Haiti was just conquered by the Bahamas. It's just the Dominican. Oh, is that Cuba? Is Cuba finally gonna go after somebody? Love this alliance, the South Georgia and South Sandwich Island Alliance, which the Falklands just joined. Okay. Bermuda did take out somebody over here, but they didn't eliminate Canada from, this is Newfoundland. This is really like tripping my brain out to look at the map like this. It's hard to see what's going on. Oh, Cuba is now facing a revolt. Jamaica just got their independence. We're gonna see if they come down here and crush that. Completely forgot about the Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands are actually surviving the gauntlet here. A lot of these islands in the Caribbean have been taken over. Oh boy, what has Greenland gotten themselves into? Well, at least they pieced out. They're trying to defend their buddy here, Iceland, but Iceland looks like they might be on their final legs. Madagascar has gotten and taken back their own island and got a kill up in here in the north. They're getting dangerously close to, I have not actually seen this name before. Boom. Okay, they're going to pick up a ton of new sea territory now. Keyword though, sea territory. New Zealand and Australia have been really quiet, really peaceful. New Zealand, why did you get yourself in this situation again? You're keeping yourself small and weak. I think Indonesia has gotten into a war with the Philippines. Maybe. Is that how they lost this chunk of territory right here? Greece was just conquered by Italy. Italy controls even more islands. Well, I guess what else are they going to control? You can only really control islands, you know. The Jamaican revolt did not last long as the Dominican Republic, wow, look at the Dominican Republic go. They've taken over Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and all of Cuba, all of Bahamas too. Are they doing this with friends? They're allied to Bermuda. Maybe Bermuda has the supernatural triangle on their side. They're just making a bunch of armies disappear, or I guess navies. That's what they tend to do. St. Helena was just destroyed. Oh, is Puerto Rico back now? Yeah, Puerto Rico just got back, I think. I don't know how they did that. The US is once again attacking Canada, but the front is not moving really at all. Oh, is this it, Italy? Oh my goodness. Spain and Cyprus now working together. You're gonna oh, you got a huge, who was that? Was that, yeah, it's gotta be Russia. They're allied to Russia. They still lost that capital that was on Sicily. Now they're banished to Malta. Problem is, Italy's got some money because I guess people are giving them money, but they've got a lot more money than Spain does. Peace deal has happened. English territory still being controlled by this island that's north of France. They're gonna take over, it looks like maybe all the British Isles soon. The Faroe Islands are losing some stuff. China was just conquered by India, so India's moved all the way with only these like 5 islands. I mean, again, that's the thing we have to like add up. Like, we have to add up each pixel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many did China really have? They were just more together. This looks like maybe 10 pixels versus 6. That's literally what we're arguing over. I love this island battle. Bahrain was just destroyed by Yemen, the all-powerful Yemen right here. Speaking of pixels, I think they only have 2 pixels. Oh wait, they have a third now. I forgot about that. Again, that's not everything, you know. Like, pixels don't dictate who wins the war, clearly. Iceland somehow still alive. Again, their big buddy Greenland keeping them afloat. Maybe literally. Ooh, the Philippines really deep into Indonesian territory. Are they being aided by, well, they do have help over here by Guam. Papua New Guinea was basically destroyed. The Solomon Islands got some of this. Here goes Ecuador after French Polynesia as well as the Cook Islands. And Denmark has just taken over all of the British Isles, including Ireland. I did not expect to see Denmark over here. They are allied to Russia, which keeps their other flank safe. I was not expecting to see that from Denmark. Puerto Rico is still alive, but oh my goodness, there goes the Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico is still alive, but it is getting more intense over here. The US is still managing to do pretty good. Wow, they've got a lot of territory, surprisingly. I think they started off with more than just Hawaii and Alaska. Were they getting some other overseas Pacific territories, some other islands? New Zealand finally decided to backstab Australia, as they should have, or maybe they joined New Zealand, I don't know. But now this means New Zealand's gonna actually have to fight some wars. Oh man, Indonesia, you've made a lot of people angry around you. Seychelles are fighting Madagascar. Sri Lanka and India might be getting into it soon. How the tables have turned, huh, India? When did... I missed when Japan died somehow. Russia got all of the northern island. It's hard to keep up what the hell is even going on. Philippines getting mighty aggressive. They are fighting India right now. Maybe this is why Japan died, because the Philippines was aiding the Mariana Islands. Denmark might be losing their control, their dominance in the North Sea, because Spain is coming up here. Italy's been destroyed, I think, by Spain and Cyprus together. There's also Equatorial Guinea. Always forget about Equatorial Guinea. Their capital is actually located on this island in real life. There's the Cayman Islands over here as well. They're allied to the US. I can't believe there's still a ton of chaos happening in the Caribbean. I thought by now it would have been cleaned up a little bit, but no. Maybe it will be after Puerto Rico takes over all this stuff. Whoa, Puerto Rico, chill. Now, does Puerto Rico have friends? They do have a couple friends in the north, but they're gonna have to fight the US soon, because the US is taking over a lot of stuff. They finally did their dream, which was taking over Cuba. They've always wanted to do that. How is Greenland? I guess Greenland and Canada have fought, because clearly you can see the borders have changed a bit. Land area, I have never been this far into the World War Simulator and seen like nothing move in terms of the area map. Like, I guess sea territories have moved, but that's nothing. It's barely anything different. The Mariana Islands technically have the most cash right now, but of course that can get drained pretty fast. New Zealand is fighting Indonesia. They're also getting a lot of help from India. India was dangerously close to that Indonesia capital. India versus Indonesia. That's gonna be hard on my tongue. Denmark has pushed Spain almost out of England, but they still have a little chunk down here. Is the US gonna take back their territory of Puerto Rico? Well, Puerto Rico is still alive. They had to move their capital, but I don't know for how much longer, honestly. If they get backstabbed by these guys, then it's definitely over for them. Is Iceland finally putting an end to Denmark? Why are they moving so fast? What happened there? They literally said, I am the speed, and just sped run. They speeded through Denmark like the way that no Germans honestly sped through Denmark. 6 hours. Denmark is still alive. They're actually, Spain. What's going on here, Spain? Spain now pushing up Iceland. They do have to worry about Equatorial Guinea, who took away Sicily. This is really going to come down to like whose capital island is protected the most. Normally in this game, like you want to be off in the corners. Those countries have the best chances, but everyone's kind of in their own corner in this situation. Trinidad and Tobago was just taken out by Puerto Rico. This gives Puerto Rico a bit more breathing room. And Equatorial Guinea was just betrayed by Seychelles. Seychelles came up from behind them, took them over. That helps out Spain a ton. I mean, Spain's protected on a lot of their fronts because they're allied to Portugal. They're allied to these guys. They're allied to Cyprus. They still found themselves in a war though somehow. Finally, Iceland is dead. I'm so shocked, and it's because Greenland betrayed them. Greenland's like, okay, we've had enough of this. Greenland, you probably could have taken over the entire map by now if you didn't ally to one of your only neighbors. So now it's Greenland that controls most of Ireland and the British Isles. The Cook Islands are looking huge right now. Wow. Russia has taken over all of the Japanese main islands. Also, unfortunately, I think the Philippines were taken out a while ago. I didn't think that was going to happen. Is India finally going to put an end to Indonesia? Actually, I don't think even if they get to this capital, that will not be enough. They pieced out, but I'm pretty sure Indonesia can just move it. Indonesia is also fighting a pretty big threat from New Zealand in the south. Cyprus just united with Spain, which gives Spain even more power here. Now Spain is finding themselves in a war against Greenland. Ooh, interesting place. So Greenland actually lost their capital because of Canada. They moved it here, which is a pretty safe spot, I think. Norway just united with Greenland. Sao Tome was finally taken out. Seychelles also has all of Madagascar that they're working with. Again, I have no idea what's going on in the alliance map modes. I cannot read this at all. I think there's like 4 or 5 teams though. That's my guess. Russia united into Greenland. Look at how much territory Greenland just picked up because of that. I actually thought Russia had a chance to win this, surprisingly. Okay, Greenland is becoming a monster up here in the north. They just have to get rid of Canada, and I think it's game over for the rest of the world. Look at this area map mode. Greenland is just far away, running away with it. Look at the Marshall Islands going in a nice 3rd place. Spain is like the one country that's trying to keep Greenland out, but they're getting attacked from a lot of different sides. Oh, now Portugal backstabs them. That's not what you needed. All these different sea lanes being attacked. The Cook Islands have to work with a lot. It's still the US that actually controls a majority of the Caribbean. Oh, I guess not anymore because the US just united with Canada. This gives Canada some much needed power. This is actually a very big Caribbean archipelago now because they have obviously the Canadian islands, a lot of things in the Pacific. They have the Caribbean. Actually, with that, Canada closes the gap a bit against Greenland, but they still have a ways to go. Indonesia was finally destroyed. The Marshall Islands, I think, maybe did it as well with the help of India, of course. Sri Lanka was killed. Did not expect to see India do so well on this map. They actually have a lot of Japanese territory. New Zealand's facing a pretty huge coalition, but they have a lot of friends. Wow, they have a lot of friends. Okay, actually, this is definitely becoming a world war. We're definitely seeing the World War III simulator in action because a lot of the world is actually like combined fighting the same conflicts together. Portugal did end up taking out Spain, and they have a large part of Ireland, England, a lot of the islands in the Mediterranean. They go all the way down through the Atlantic Ocean, or formerly what was the Atlantic Ocean. I guess it's all now just the Atlantic Ocean. Can't believe Argentina is somehow still here. And my favorite islands of all time, the South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands, please win. Please win. Are they big enough to not unite into a country, though? That's the problem. We're getting to the late game, so a lot of the smaller countries allow themselves to get eaten up to give themselves a chance at winning. I don't think they're quite big enough, to be honest. Oh, they are fighting. If they take over all of Argentina, they will be. Ooh, Argentina's being helped out by the Cook Islands. Tonga, it has been Tonga time this entire video, surprisingly, even though they don't have a whole lot. And there you go. Argentina was just destroyed. Wait a second. Canada and Greenland are now actually working together, surprisingly, maybe to take out the rest of the world, and then they'll do battle. Seychelles is actually doing pretty good here in the middle as well, but they've got a lot of enemies to worry about. Also, India is still fighting for their life. I love how the South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands can barely be fit here. All right, well, it's good to know there's actually only a couple of countries still left on the Earth. It's kind of hard to tell by just staring at the map. So it was Canada that destroyed the Cook Islands. Now they're moving down south. Probably they want some sandwiches soon. Please protect them with your life. Oh, they almost have $0. Yeah, Canada and Greenland are working together hardcore right now. That's not fair. It's not fair to the rest of the world, but let's see if like maybe they all team up with a lot. They look like they have like pretty much half the world's territory at this point. I mean, if we're just talking about land territory, there's a lot to be held here. If New Zealand can somehow clean up all this, or India, then maybe they can win. Maybe they can fight both Canada and Greenland at the same time. Portugal ended up pushing kind of deep into Greenland territory, and now they've just kind of lost everything. Did you run out of money or something? What happened with you? Oh yeah, you did. Oh, you're gonna die. India's just ran completely out of money. They're still being supported by allies, but that's not gonna be enough. So there's a lot of nations that are just barely holding on here. Got like literally $0 in the bank. You cannot fund a military with $0 in the bank. Just ask Portugal as they're getting eaten up. And there goes Portugal. The final blow or nail in the coffin was done by Greenland. India is also just barely holding on. Actually, that might be it. And that's basically it. I don't know how they're still around. Oh, it's the Sandwich Islands. The Sandwich Islands are providing a lot of aid to India. Wow, look at the South Sandwich Islands being aided by New Zealand. They were in a war with Canada briefly for a second there. They were trying to get this alliance to work together to fight the big scary baddies, Canada and Greenland, but it's not really working. Not everyone's like on the same team. Marshall Islands. Seychelles is not trying to work with them, even though Seychelles is like a naval powerhouse right now. Look at all this stuff they got. Yeah, see, this is the problem. But maybe Seychelles is oh, well, I guess if you all work together to fight Seychelles, that works. India has finally just decided to unite with New Zealand. That's probably for the best. New Zealand has a lot of friends. They don't border the enemy though right now. Oh, actually they do. They have northern Japan for some reason. It's funny because the South Sandwich Islands technically have, wait, did you just unite? Yes, Seychelles just united into the Marshall Islands. South Sandwich Islands technically have 1 point. Is that 1? Or Cayman Islands? I don't really know, but they actually, they look like they have a lot. Oh, and they just got eaten. They also just united with the Marshall Islands. Okay, let's see what New Zealand does. Where are the Cayman Islands? Oh, you can't get to them. Oh, someone messed up here, but that's fine. Okay, sorry, Cayman Islands, you had no chance. So there's technically only 4 nations left on this water world, and Greenland still has the most land area exclusively because they have just basically Greenland. But, you know, to be fair, they also have Iceland and the UK. All right, well, Canada's decided that they are going to forfeit and give maybe the win to Greenland. My computer can barely even handle it. Okay, unsurprisingly, someone just united. Wait, did you... I've never seen that before. I have never seen it. Everyone just said, you know what, Greenland, get the win. They literally peacefully came up with a winner for this simulation. It's always like a battle to the death. All 4 nations just were like, it's cool. Let Greenland win. This is probably the only time they're ever going to win a simulator match. That is literally one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. They honestly deserve the win too. And big thanks to the patrons. I am the kidnapper. I oofed Drew since no one paid his ransom. This channel's now run by AI. Australia is real. I'm Argentina. $20 is a lot. Asher, Fat, Norway, Chester, Tiny, Reagan's a Inquisitor, Isaiah, John Denver, the Polar, the Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Mexican, why am I doing this?